The new Gamma patch is here, the launcher troubles and early release hiccups are behind us, it's time for a fresh install, and I figured it was the perfect opportunity to check all the extra mods that are available and see how we can make our game feel and especially look even better. I only have the patience to do this once a year, so that's going to be my graphical 2026 guide, and that's it. I just want to go play after that. The goal of this video is not to tell you these are the best settings and you should use exactly this. That's dumb. There's way too many cool options to choose from. What I'm going to do is show you a lot of different setups so you can pick what you like the best. We are going to do a lot of side-by-side comparisons, that way you can see immediately what's for you or not. I will still go over my final setup at the end if you really can't decide by yourself and want the exact same thing, but it's not the main purpose of this video. I'm also gonna skip a lot of popular mods, so don't cry because I didn't mention your favorite whatever pack, because another thing I'm really focusing on today is that I want things that are easy to install. My goal is that after watching this video, in less than 10 minutes, not counting downloading times, you can install everything you liked and be ready to play. So it's only gonna be add-ons that you drop at the end of your mod list, and that's it. 1 or 2 extra steps max after that. No reshade with 50 settings to tweak, nothing too complicated or a pain in the ass to install. I'm too old for this shit, I just want to play. I will leave a spreadsheet with everything I talk about in this video. I labeled every scene, so if you see something you like, you can go check exactly how this look was achieved, with links to download, special instructions and settings if needed, everything in one spot to make the process as simple as possible. But first, let's compare everything and we'll talk about installation and settings at the end of the video when you saw everything and kinda know what you want. Okay, let's get started. So first, let's talk weather and general atmosphere. Gamma comes by default with atmospherics, which is already one of the best mods you can get, so there's not much to do here. The game looks beautiful without having to do anything. I still recommend grabbing the latest version because Gamma is not using it by default right now, and the new update has extra features like PBR that does look really nice, and you can really feel the difference. There is one other weather mod that could be interesting to look into, especially if you want something a bit more performance friendly, and it's melancholy weathers. The best way I would describe it is that it's a little bit less refined than atmospherics. It's not this perfectly fine-tuned, really natural and realistic simulation, but it's got much more character and personality. In terms of original, eerie and mysterious Stalker atmosphere, it's really good. If you want to try something that feels different, definitely check it out. And it pairs very well with other mods we're going to talk about right now, actually. So let's move to grass and trees. This is a very important part of the look of the game as there's so much vegetation everywhere, even on the more urban maps, and there's a lot of add-ons to choose from. It gets even more complicated because you can combine them together, get the trees from this mod, the grass from that mod, layer different grass mods together, pick different seasons, so the number of options available grows exponentially and it gets really confusing and hard to decide what you want. So here are some straight up comparisons so you can see what you like the most from very basic to more advanced. So this is base settings Gamma, which is Aidin's grass by default. I think it's the summer preset that Gamma uses by default that's used right now, but don't quote me on it. You can simply reinstall the mod if you want and pick another season. Here's a comparison with both the grass and trees of all the seasons from the mod. As you can see, I like my grass tall, I like having it at dick level, and it's better for the comparisons anyway, so all these tests will use the upper limit of the recommended settings you will find in the spreadsheet. This is of course something you can change and test for yourself very easily. You can even do it in-game, straight from the console, so you can directly see if you like the look, how much performance impact it has, and so on. My favorite is Autumn. Most of the mods we're gonna compare, my favorite is always Autumn. I think it's the perfect balance between sad, moody, but not too sad either. Winter, for example, is a bit too depressing for me. Anyways, moving on. Before we move to more advanced and fancy looking mods, I want to quickly mention Sickle's grass. It's basically enhanced Anomaly grass. Nothing fancy, very natural look, and it has zero performance impact. It's a great option if you play on a potato, but not only, honestly. It's a very good looking mod overall. There will be some seasons added in the future, so keep an eye for it if you like it, but right now there's only one preset available. It pairs very well with Melancholy Weathers we talked about before, for a performance-friendly, kinda old-school OG look to the game. Now, let's talk about Misery Grass, which is ported from the legendary Misery mod. So that's Gamma Vanilla, and this is Misery Grass. It's got this very specific look that I know a lot of people that played the Misery mod will love. It feels very nostalgic. It's only a grass and ground mod, so you can pair it with the Aidin's Winter Trees, for example, if you don't like the default preset. Or another option is the Second Trees, we're gonna talk about right after, which are a bit less dead. Yeah, I think I like this more. Oh, and here's what it looks like with Melancholy Weather instead of atmospheric. One is very clean and natural, the other one is much more moody and atmospheric. I kinda love both, to be fair. We're not even getting started, and I'm already having issues deciding what I want. I mean, like I said at the beginning, it's good to have a lot of cool options. Now, let's move to the more popular grass and tree mods. I wanted to take the time to show you and compare the basic options first, because what's coming is much more performance intensive. They look amazing, but there's a price to pay. I didn't do in-depth performance test, but I left in the spreadsheet some numbers I recorded during testing for every setting, so you can have a rough idea of the impact on performance they will have. So this is Aidin's Grass and Trees Summer preset dubbed Gamma Default. This is Sickle's Grass that we saw before, and this is Sikon Grass. I don't really have to describe how amazing it looks. Having eyes is pretty much the only requirement here to see the difference. It's a much more refined, detailed version of everything we saw so far. It comes with 4 presets. This is the summer one. I will show you the others after. And this is Grass and Trees by Panzeride, another very popular choice. It only has 2 presets, and this is the summer one too, so we can compare similar things. It's a bit more flowery, with more details and variety in general, but still a very natural and realistic look. Both look amazing. It's a tough choice, to be fair, if you can run them, obviously, especially Panzeride because it needs a pretty high detail density and grass height to really shine, which comes at a price. But with the big performance upgrades and the new engine we got this new patch, some of these grass mods that were completely out of the question for a lot of lower spec computers are really becoming accessible. I know that for me I could never run Panzeride the way I like it on my Potato, for example, and now it's mostly fine. Here are the 4 presets of the second Grass and Trees, so you can see the difference. The 4 seasons are available to choose from, and also the 2 Panzeride ones to compare, summer and autumn. There are some people who like doing some Frankenstein shit, layering multiple grass mods together, picking which texture and meshes they like, but if you're at that level of nitpicking, you don't really need this video. As I said in the beginning, I like to keep things simple, and it's a lot of choice already. Okay, we're done with grass and trees, let's move to textures, because it's a big one too. Let's start with the ground textures, because there's not that many options. You have Terrain Texture Redone, which is a dedicated full rework of a lot of the ground textures, and you can also use Misery Grass that we talked about before, and just install the ground texture and not the grass if you're not interested, as the mod reworks a lot of them too. I'm personally not a fan of either. If I had to pick one, it would be the Misery Grounds. I do like most of the changes in Terrain Texture Redone, but I wish they were more subtle. But we don't care about my opinion. I know a lot of people use them, especially Terrain Texture Redone. So if you want to try something different, here's how everything looks. If you like it, go for it. Both have no impact on performance if you don't go crazy with the texture resolution you pick. Speaking of performance, now let's go over all the texture packs available for everything else. And let's start with Classic Textures, which is generally an add-on recommended for people who have trouble running Gamma correctly. It replaces a lot of textures by original Call of Pripyat and Shadow of Chernobyl assets, which are much more performance friendly. But turns out a lot of people, me included, love this pack not just for the performance gains, but for the old school nostalgic look too. And there's an upscale version available that, after some quick testing, runs as good as the original pack actually. So if you like these classic textures in better details and resolution, there's even this option available. Generally, I play with the vanilla Anomaly texture or this pack, but let's see what else is available. Let's move to the bigger packs. I tried to pick multiple scenes where you can see best the difference between them, but these packs rework everything from ground and roads to rocks, walls, all the materials, cars, trucks, everything, so it's kinda tricky. I don't really have a preference. I know Anomaly Textures Overhaul, Ato, was super popular at some point. Then Rotten Life became the mod to use for a long time, and these days everybody and their modders are using the IXR texture rework. All three are great, there's nothing mind-blowing in any of them, it's just a matter of taste in the end. They're all side grades giving you different options, there's not one above the other. I know it's kinda hard to compare like this, especially because it's a lot of information and a lot of different options dump on you at the same time. I've been working on a big screenshot gallery that will have all these tests in better resolution, and more importantly, you will be able to go back and forth, really compare everything in detail and see what you like. Because I know a video format is not the best for this task, and just browsing screenshots will be superior. The link will be in the description with everything else. If I had to pick something right now, I think I like Rotten Life the best. It's the only pack that looks natural, aligned with the original textures, and not out of place or trying too hard, in my opinion. Okay, before we move to the final setups and install instructions, let's rapid fire a couple other mods you might like. So, glossy puddles to make every puddles glossy, that's pretty self-explanatory. By the way, everything you saw so far was with the persistent puddles from Atmospherics activated. That's why there's puddles everywhere, even if it's not raining. Man, I love fog, that adds fog above all the water bodies in the swamps. It's just a little detail, but it makes such a difference, I absolutely love it. Weather expansion for Atmospherics, that adds a lot of variety and new weathers. It's getting a bit old, it hasn't been updated in a while, and some presets are starting to look a bit funky. I know it's a very popular mod, but I don't really recommend it right now as a result, just keep an eye out for updates. Vehicles Redux if you want brand new, much more detailed textures for all vehicles, cars and trucks. And Arrival. I left it for the end because it has some performance cost, but all the new skins for the anomalies, particles, the flying seeds and leaves and zone effects looks amazing. It has a lot of customization options too. I will leave the settings I use in the spreadsheet, but I recommend experimenting a bit to fine-tune it to your liking. And now there is 2 steps left. First, I'm going to show you 2 very simple presets I use and think work very well with a quick install guide and load order to replicate them very easily if you want to do the same. And then as a final touch, we'll check out Kumo's LUTs, which are a last color correction pass we can do on everything to really tie the room together. So first, the presets. First one, let's call it Moody Potato. It's if you want great performance with an old school, nostalgic and atmospheric look. And the next one is Lean and Clean, which is a perfect balance of natural and realistic without being too performance heavy. It's very close to what I use most of the time. You will find all the information in the spreadsheet, and in the end I left a template to build upon Lean and Clean if you want to add more of the options I mentioned before. I didn't cover everything, obviously, this video is a lot of information already. I didn't touch the character models, extra effects like blood and whatever, but I think it's enough for now. The only rules you have to follow are after installing any of these 2 presets or your own version of them, you clean your shaders cache manually. It's going to be in your Anomaly folder, app data, you delete this folder. And in-game you switch back to default all the SSS settings. You load the weather mod you selected, and that's it. All the other recommended settings, either you enter them one by one in the console and do a vid restart if you want to compare the results, or you can simply enter them directly in your user.ltx. You will find the exact load orders of my presets in the spreadsheet, but if you want to experiment, do not get scared by load orders when you install new mods. It basically falls into 3 categories. Common sense, the mod author will tell you, or it doesn't matter. If you replace an already existing mod, it's kinda recommended to turn the default one off. For example, if you install a new weather mod, go turn off the default Gamma Atmospherics. And then let's say you use an everything texture pack, but you specifically like the ground textures of another mod, you will put this new add-on under the texture pack, so it can override it. And if you want to use new car textures, not the ones in the big texture pack, same thing, you put it under and so on. You build layers like that. The game will read your mods from bottom to top, so everything that's last will have the highest priority. If the mod author does not tell you to do something specific, for example, I will always put my grass mod after my texture and ground mods. grass is on top of them, so that makes sense in my mind. But if you use IXR, for example, the author specifically tells you to put the grass before, so you just listen to him. If there's no special instructions, it means it's common sense, or most likely it just doesn't matter. And always delete your shaders cache after making any changes. That's the most important thing to remember. And now let's finish with some LUTs. There's a couple add-ons available. Most of them you have to install and mess with reshades, and I really don't want to do that. That's why I like the Kumo's LUTs. There is some extra settings with reshades, but you can use the base version perfectly fine by simply dropping them in your mod list like a regular add-on, and that's it. And that's what I want. Here's a comparison of all the 3 LUTs available right now. It's optional, it doesn't have much performance impact. It's basically a last color correction pass you can add on your final setup if you're interested. And out of all 3, I think Iris is my favorite one. Yeah, that one, definitely. And that's it, we're done. If we don't count the download times, obviously, it's going to take you less than 10 minutes to install everything and start playing, which was the goal of this video, to keep things simple. I left at the end of the spreadsheet a lot of mods that look interesting, but I didn't test yet. I'm leaving them here because I think a big issue with modding is discoverability. Not everyone has the time to spend hours browsing ModDB or Discord conversation or Reddit, so everything I stumble upon that looks cool, I'll leave it here. Maybe that will be the base for another video in the future, and it's cool stuff for you to try if you've never heard about it. And now it is time for me to try new Iron Man runs. Get ready for a lot of dev compilation videos coming soon. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.